Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at Genesis chapter 19 today. Imagine this. Kindness meets pure malice, leading to, well, terrifying judgment and consequences that just ripple outwards.
It's an incredibly dense chapter, yeah. So much
It
happens.
really is. Our mission here is to unpack all that drama, the hospitality, the wickedness, the destruction, the escape, and that very difficult aftermath.
It kicks off in the evening. You have these two angels arriving in Sodom,
And Lot spots them. He's sitting right there in the city gate.
which is significant, as you said, not just any residence. Sitting in the gate suggests some kind of standing, maybe.
Exactly. It was the center of public life, legal stuff, everything.
And his reaction to seeing these strangers, it's immediate. He gets up, bows right down, face to the ground.
Proper respect. A real welcome.
He doesn't just nod hello. He insists, "My lords, please come to my house, wash your feet, stay the night." The full hospitality treatment.
He really lays it on thick. And the angels, they initially say, no, we'll just stay in the square.
Yeah, they resist at first. Maybe a test. Or maybe they knew the danger already.
Could be. But Lot is persistent. The text says he strongly urged them. So they give in, they go with him.
He takes them home, gets a meal ready. Unleavened bread is mentioned specifically.
Right, which suggests maybe some haste, but still a proper meal for his guests. He's really focused on doing the right thing, the host thing.
Absolutely. Which makes the next bit just jarring.
It happens so fast, before they've even gone to bed, the house is surrounded.
And not just a few people. The text says all the men, every part of the city, young and old, everyone.
That's terrifying. The whole city descending on his house.
And their demand is, well, it's explicit. They yell for Lot, "Where are the men who came to you? Bring them out so we can have sex with them."
A direct assault on his guests, on that sacred hospitality.
Lot's response is, desperate, he goes outside, shuts the door behind him, putting himself between them.
Facing the mob alone. He tries pleading first, calls them friends, begs them, don't do this wicked thing.
He knows how wrong it is, but then he makes that offer.
It's really hard to hear. He offers his two daughters, virgins, the text specifies, says, look, do what you like with them.
Just don't touch these men, they're under my roof.
It's just staggering, offering his own children.
It tells you something about the extreme pressure, maybe the absolute terror of the situation, and how seriously that hospitality code was taken, even weighed against his own family. It's awful, but it shows his mindset in that crisis moment.
But the mob doesn't even care about that offer. They just reject it outright.
Scornfully, "Get out of our way," they yell.
And they turn on Lot himself, call him an alien, someone trying to play the judge.
Basically, "Who are you to tell us anything?" And then the threat, "We'll treat you worse than them."
It's complete chaos, no respect for anything, and they start pushing, trying to break the door down.
Pure aggression. They're about to overwhelm him.
And that's when the angels act. Divine intervention, right?
Exactly. The men inside reach out, grab Lot, pull him back into the house, slam the door.
Just in time. And then they deal with the mob.
Swiftly. They strike them with blindness. The whole crowd, young and old, suddenly they can't even find the door they were trying to smash. Total confusion.
Wow. Okay, so the immediate threat is gone. Now what?
Now the angels reveal their real purpose to Lot, inside the house.
They ask him, anyone else? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, anyone you have in the city.
The instruction is blunt. Get them out of here.
Because
We are going to destroy this place. The outcry against its wickedness has reached God. It's judgment time.
so Lot, he has to run out again, this time to warn his family. Specifically, his sons-in-law, the ones engaged to his daughters.
Right, they weren't in the house with him, it seems. He finds them and gives this urgent warning. "Hurry, get out! The Lord is about to destroy the city."
A life or death message. You'd think they'd listen.
You would, but the text says they thought he was joking.
Joking about fiery destruction.
Apparently. They just didn't believe him. Maybe denial, maybe they just didn't respect it. Whatever it was, they stayed.
Tragic. So, back at the house, dawn is breaking.
And the angels are really pushing Lot now. "Hurry, take your wife, take your two daughters who are here, or you'll be swept away too."
The urgency is palpable. But even then, Lot hesitates.
Yeah, the text specifically notes that. He hesitated. Why? Shock. Fear of leaving. Attachment. We don't know.
But the angels don't wait. They can't wait.
No, they physically grab his hand, his wife's hand, his daughter's hands. They basically drag them out of the city to safety.
And there's that key line, isn't there? This happened because the Lord was merciful to them.
Exactly. It wasn't their own doing in that moment. It was divine mercy pulling them out.
So they're outside the city now. What are the instructions?
Clear and stark. Flee for your lives. Don't look back. Don't stop anywhere on the plain. Flee to the mountains or you'll be swept away.
Get away, get high up, don't look back. Seems straightforward.
But Lot pleads again. He's afraid of the mountains now. Says the disaster will catch him there. He'll die.
So what does he want?
He asks to go to a small town nearby instead. He keeps saying, it's very small, almost like, surely this tiny place can be spared. Let me go there.
And the angel agrees.
Remarkably, yes. Very well, the angel says. I grant this request too. I won't overthrow that town.
Wow. Another act of mercy, tailored to his fear.
But with a condition. Flee there quickly, because I can't do anything until you arrive. The destruction is literally waiting for him to get to safety.
And that's why the town gets its name right. Zoar, meaning small.
Precisely. It's all connected. So Lot races to Zoar.
And the moment he gets there,
The sun had risen, and then it happens.
judgment falls. The Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah.
From the Lord out of the heavens. The description is vivid. Fire and sulfur from the sky.
And the destruction is total. The cities, the whole plain, all the inhabitants, even the plants, wiped out.
God. But there is that tragic detail about the escape party.
Lot's wife, despite the explicit command, don't look back.
She looked back, and instantly, she became a pillar of salt.
Just like that. A permanent monument to what? Disobedience. Longing for what was lost. Attachment.
It's a chilling image, a very stark consequence.
Meanwhile, the next morning, Abraham gets up. Lot's uncle.
He goes back to that place where he'd stood before God, where he'd pleaded for the cities.
And he looks out towards Sodom and Gomorrah, towards the plain.
What does he see? Dense smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace.
The aftermath. Confirmation of the judgment.
And the narrative connects Lot's survival back to Abraham here. It says God remembered Abraham, and that's why he brought Lot out.
So Lot's rescue is linked to Abraham's faithfulness. Interesting.
But the story isn't quite over for Lot and his daughters. They don't stay in Zoar, the little town that was spared for them.
Why not?
Lot was afraid to stay there, maybe afraid it wasn't truly safe, or maybe just the trauma. So they leave.
And end up where?
In the mountains, the very place he was initially afraid to go, living in a cave.
From a house in a city, even one about to be destroyed, to a cave in the mountains, a huge shift. Total isolation.
And that isolation becomes the setting for the final, deeply troubling part of this chapter.
The daughters. The older one speaks to the younger.
She lays out their situation. Our father is old, she says, and there's no man around here to lie with us like everyone else does to continue the family.
They see themselves as completely cut off, the end of the line, unless they do something drastic.
Their solution, based on this desperation to preserve the family line, is, well,
They decide, let's get our father drunk with wine and then lie with him.
to preserve our family line through our father. That's their stated reasoning.
And the text describes them doing exactly that, 2 nights in a row.
Night 1, they get Lot drunk. The older daughter goes in. The text is clear. He was unaware, didn't know when she lay down or got up.
Night 2, same thing, more wine. The younger daughter goes in. Again, he's completely unaware.
The result, so both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father.
It's stated so plainly.
Right.
And these births have consequences that echo through history.
Right. The older daughter's son is named Moab. He becomes the ancestor of the Moabites.
And the younger daughter's son, Ben-Ammi, the ancestor of the Ammonites.
Two peoples who would become significant neighbors and often adversaries of Israel later on. Their origin story is rooted right here in this cave.
What an absolutely packed chapter. From hospitality at the gate
To the mob's fury, the angel's intervention, the fiery destruction.
the escape, the pillar of salt, and then this incredibly difficult situation in the cave. It's just relentless.
The speed of it all is striking, isn't it? And the stark contrasts. Good intentions meet horrific evil. Mercy exists alongside devastating judgment.
And for you, listening and processing this, think about those contrasts. Think about the pressures, the cultural pressure of hospitality, the pressure of survival, the pressure of isolation.
And maybe mull over those final scenes. The daughter's choice in the cave, the text, gives their reason, preserving the line. But what else might be going on there in their minds after all they'd been through? Was it purely about lineage or something more complex, born of trauma and desperation?
And Lot's wife. Looking back, what does that single action and its immediate consequence tell us about escape, about letting go, about where our focus should be when moving forward from disaster? Lots to think about as you continue your own deep dives.